Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. And in today's video I'll be showing you how to make practice files very easily. When you finish playing through the game for the first time on your main profile, you're able to skip the cutscenes at any time whenever you want. I have my run file here. This is like a practice file for 6F, and I have one just for my casual. And the main idea of making practice files is that each profile you make allows you to gain 3 files of like floor, so 3 different like segments of the run that you can practice on. And I'll show you how that works. In order to start this, I actually may have to make a new account, obviously, here. Since I maxed out the 8, since there's a total of 8 accounts you can have, you don't necessarily need to make like all 8. You actually, for the most part, you only need like 7 if you're gonna like consider running. But if you're starting out just new and you're trying to getting into it, I suggest just making like 1 or 2 files if you're starting out. Just kind of get the gist of it. So first I'm gonna delete this and I'll be back. Now that I deleted my test file there, profile, I can actually make a new one. So anytime you actually start a new game on a different profile, you're actually forced to watch the cutscenes for the first time since it's basically the first time playing. So you may notice that I'm just gonna select default right here, call it 1. So as soon as I click here, obviously it's gonna show, fresh game screen right here, skip this through real quick. So yeah, we're in a new game, so whenever you start a new, like, basically playthrough of a different profile that hasn't played the game ever, uh, you're basically forced to get through these cutscenes. So I'm just gonna start a new game here, right here, and if you try skipping the cutscenes here, it's just not gonna work. You actually have to watch these for the first time. So yeah. You have to sit through watching these cutscenes in order to basically able to skip them. Like if you actually if you actually like quit out like after this, you can actually skip this like on a different save or just delete the save that you're on. So I'll come right into the next part. Alright, we just made it to the end of this first cutscene right here. We're obviously gonna get another one right here, but if you pay attention, right after this second cutscene right here, if you pay attention to the bottom right corner, you're gonna notice a yellow flag appear, and that is basically the story
Oh
checkpoint.
yeah.
And whenever that appears, it allows you to basically reset to the certain point, like every time. So like this like whole like beginning intro segment, you essentially allows you to reset to like the start right here. So right after this cutscene finishes, you'll notice that the yellow flag will appear just like that. It says saving, it's yellow. And I guess I could show you also this. So if we actually quit out of the game here and actually load the story checkpoint, we essentially can restart that cutscene. So we do that. Load the story checkpoint. So you notice how when you select the file here, there's actually 2 slots, but in this state, it's only one since you haven't really saved more than once here. So if you scroll down to the bottom right here, you'll see the old flag right there. That is the story checkpoint that you can select. And if you select the story checkpoint, it'll reset you to that point of the game. And since we watched the cutscene right here, we're able to skip it like that. So yeah, but anything onwards from here, we actually have to sit through these cutscenes first before like we actually able to like skip them. So yeah, right here after this cutscene, if you notice the bottom right corner now, there'll be another yellow flag that will appear. So right after this cutscene.
Goodie puppy. Oh, puppy. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, just right there, the yellow flag appeared, which means that if we actually quit out of the game now, uh, it'll actually be replaced with a new one for a different segment of the run. So if we now no load in here, it actually be now dark instead of like the bright background. So you scroll down here and there you go. It's basically new. And if we actually load in here, we can skip that cutscene now because we actually seen it once before in this profile. So right here we can actually skip it. Right there. Skip it. And onwards. So using that knowledge right there, if you pass a certain point where it'll actually show the yellow flag, that flag will be basically erased and be put with a brand new one. So whenever you make practice files, you want to start at the beginning. So let's just say, for example, I want to have a 3F, 5F, and 1F practice file, just as an example. I would have to start up to 3F and play it till the end after like the boss fight, after I finish the boss fight and I see like all like the cutscenes of like Luigi basically getting the button. At that point, when you see all those cutscenes, so if you actually play basically what I said, up to 3F and finish Cruller, if you do exactly like that, you won't have to go any further up. Instead, you could basically reload the story checkpoint for the 3F and retry 3F completely and just practice it with the ability to skip the cutscenes. And by doing that, it allows you to basically create two more practice files below here and be allowed to skip the cutscenes for 5F and B1. If you actually want to number these, or like kind of just like do that, we could quit out here real quick because I don't really have the number because I memorize them pretty much. But what I can do is essentially just put this as 3F, 5F, and B1F. And now you may need to shorten this a bit, like for like the later floors, like for instance, like 13. So if I do 13, if I try fitting 13F and then with a slash, and then 12F, B2R, I won't have enough space. So what I can do instead is actually like get rid of this and kind of just do like that so they can all fit. So yeah, not B2F, sorry. I forgot. But you get the idea. But yeah, that's pretty much how you can basically go about it. I know it's a bit more pain to get through, but like if you use your time wisely correctly with it, like you could just spend time just like listening to music or just doing like homework or whatnot on the side, because really it's just good practice when you make these practice files, because it's literally just free practice because you don't really have to think about doing a run, you know? I guess you could technically do like a cutscene percent run if you actually kind of need to go to all the way to the end of the King Boo for one, but yeah, that's pretty much what the gist of it for is. Pretty simple and straightforward. Now, if you're curious about how these story checkpoints like load in like majority of the time, whenever you load into a new floor, those will appear like as soon as you like start walking out of the elevator. So keep that in mind when you're like making these. So yeah. Before I end the video there, I actually forgot to add this part at the end, but one key thing in knowing how to save before going to the next area is that whenever you get the green text of saying saving, You want to wait until like after 8 seconds before like leaving the area if you want to save at a certain point. So like right here, I'm already past like the 8 second timer. So I can basically go here, but if I instantly try to leave and I want to save here, it's not going to work until like the 8 second timer finishes. So by the time I actually re-enter this room, it's going to create another save. And one key important thing to know is that whenever you load in the file, the timer is actually going to be 5 seconds of 8 seconds for the first time, but after the 5 second timer is going to be end up being an 8 second timer way before the game creates another save point. So we have our file here, and you have two save slots before the story checkpoint right here. The third one is always going to be the story checkpoint. This is very good when you accidentally create a save that you didn't want to. This is a good way to just reset it and just get back to where you need to be. But you have two save points that you can select between. The first one being, the one that you actually last saved, and the second and last save right here, the second one right here. And whenever you create a new save, the second slot right here is going to be like completely get rid of, and this first one is actually be moved down, and the new save that you created will be put on over here. That'll be it for me for now. Hope you find this useful. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.